7 jurors have been selected in the New York criminal trial against former President Donald Trump. 5 more jurors and 6 alternates are needed before the trial can get underway. And the search for jurors restarts tomorrow morning. If all the jurors are sworn in, opening statements could start as early as next week. With the trial going on for 4 days a week, that does not give the former president much time to campaign. He is scheduled for a rally in North Carolina this coming Saturday. Now, the trial will be the first criminal proceeding involving a former president. Fox 43's Marsha Keeley joining us now to break down the jury selection process and what the case could mean for the ex-president's chances at getting back to the White House.
Yeah, Evan, in this case, former President Donald Trump is accused of falsifying business records in the lead up to the 2016 election. Prosecutors claim it was an attempt to cover up details of Trump's alleged sexual encounter with former adult film star Stormy Daniels, who received a $130,000 hush money payment from Trump's company through his lawyer. Because Trump is well known and the case has been widely publicized, a former federal judge tells me jury selection will take some time.
11 more jurors must take their seats in former President Donald Trump's first criminal trial when jury selection resumes on Thursday in New York.
So far, it's proving to be, I think, fairly difficult.
Former federal judge John E. Jones says the presiding judge may have built in additional time to choose jurors in this high-profile case.
The question is not whether or not a juror has knowledge of Trump. Everybody does, obviously. The question is whether their knowledge of the case or of the former president or any aspect will prevent them from sitting fairly in judgment.
Potential jurors have been grilled on their political affiliations, their past social media posts, and their view of the former president to determine if they're fit for the case. Dozens have been dismissed so far.
Given that people's attitudes are pretty hardened about this individual, it's going to take into next week to get a fair jury seated.
The trial's expected to last at least 6 weeks and could present a challenge for the Trump campaign depending on the outcome.
And you want to do whatever you can to minimize the weaknesses of your candidate and to expose the weaknesses of your opponent. I think this kind of trial takes that out of your hands as a campaign.
No matter what happens, Jones says a state-level conviction cannot keep the former president from running.
What that means in terms of his personal liberty is something else. We're in very much uncharted waters in every other aspect, but he certainly is not disqualified from running for president.
If he's convicted of falsifying business records, Trump could face up to 4 years in prison.
So he has to be in the courtroom. So Marshall will talk about how this could impact his campaign.
Yeah, it would be difficult for Trump to make any public appearances or hold any rallies during the trial, Evan, but it does appear the former president is attempting to make this case somewhat of an extension of his campaign. He's been very vocal outside of the courthouse, as we know, and he knows that for one reason or another, most of the country will be paying attention to what happens in New York. Because Trump is already presumed to be the Republican nominee, though, Professor Yost tells me he believes it will not make that much of a difference in the immediate, but the trial's outcome may sway some voters.
We'll see how it all unfolds. Marshall, thank you so much.